103.3 WPKY. This morning's community news is brought to you by Community Medical Clinic.
Well, if you've got a community happening that you would like us to know about or you would like us to get on the community calendar, you can always email us at WPKYonline@gmail.com.
That's right. Get the camera out. The Caldwell County Democratic Women's Club will be offering the 34th Annual Cutest Baby Contest for children 2 and under for residents and non-residents alike of Caldwell County. Parents or grandparents should take a 5x7 color or black and white photo to Carol at the Woodall Agency on West Washington Street in Princeton. $20 per photo per child, with photo entry deadline coming up August 30th. Winner to be announced September 2nd, where they'll receive a trophy. For more information, call Carol 270-625-2185.
We're calling all the Caldwell County FFA alumni. Now, the Caldwell County FFA would like to remind its alumni of the Caldwell County FFA alumni meeting. Now, that is tomorrow, August 27th at 5:30 in the high school ag department.
And the First Baptist Church Clothing Room will be open the fourth Tuesday of every month from 8:30 to 10:30, with the next opening coming up tomorrow. There'll be a large selection of clothing for men, women, and children. Please use the Cave Street entrance door. First Baptist Church is located at 300 West Main Street in Princeton.
Well, calling all youth as well. Now, this also includes youth groups and teams of any size as far as sports teams as well. Now, you're encouraged to come on out to the youth rally. Now, that's right across from right there on...
62
I'm totally
West.
lost.
62
West in Princeton. It's at Christ Tabernacle Church. It's for the Youth Back to School Bash. Now, that's going to be this Wednesday, August 28th from 5:30 to 8. Again, at 1839 US 62 West in Princeton. Now, come on out. We encourage the kids to be a part of it. It's going to be an uplifting event. Again, groups of any size or denomination are welcome and encouraged. Now, transportation's available. RSVPs are appreciated. For more information, call 270-365-1744 or 625-0078. You can visit them online at ChristTabernacleKentucky.org.
All right, here's another cool event. Test, load up the kids and the lawn chairs. Bring the whole family to the Princeton Proud Block Party. That's at the Butler Lawn in Princeton, Saturday, August 31st from 5 to 7. Free food, bouncy house, dunking booth, face painting, and more. Fun, fun, fun.
Well, now here's one that everybody's been asking us about for quite some time. That's the Friends of George Coon Public Library annual Black Patch book sale. Now, that's going on Saturday, August 31st through Saturday, September 7th. Now, there should be a pretty good line at first. There usually is. And make sure that you get a good place in line for the grand opening. And check back every day during the sale for restocks and new donations. Sales open each morning at 9 a.m. and it's open late on September 3rd and 5th until 5 p.m. for those who work throughout the day. For more information, you can give them a call at the library at 270-365-2884.
It's time to stop smoking once and for all by attending are accepted. Or for more information, go to markpatrick.com. Over 500,000 have
You ready? Test it. Test. Test 1, 2. Yep.
at the Holiday Inn Hotel, 2910 Fort Campbell Boulevard in Hopkinsville, and use the power of hypnosis to stop smoking now.
Here is a reminder from your Princeton Electric Plant Board. Tampering with an electric meter is dishonest, dangerous, and against the law. If you steal electricity by tampering with an electric meter, you risk arrest and your life. Tampering with meters results in increased utility bills that everyone has to pay. If you see anyone tampering with a meter, please call Princeton Electric Plant Board right away at 270-365-2031. Princeton Electric Plant Board, Princeton's #1 energy source.
Treasures Remembered Florist and Greenhouse, serving families in good times and bad times. They offer fresh bouquets and sympathy arrangements, custom wreaths and silk arrangements. They have a wonderful selection of gifts, sympathy items, unique wall art, frames and framed prints, birdhouses, candles, wind chimes, and more. Open Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, and Saturday, 8:30 to noon. Treasures Remembered Florist and Greenhouse, 600 West Locust Street, Princeton, serving Princeton and Caldwell County for over 100 years.
1580 103.3 WPKY Coffee Talk is on the air. Morning conversations about things of interest to you. If you'd like to be a guest on Coffee Talk, just email us your information at WPKYonline@gmail.com. We're proud to call Caldwell County home. WPKY.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, it's time for Coffee Talk, and we're on the air this morning, and it's something that I'm actually really excited about, and we've been talking about for quite some time. And Shane Bogel is with me, and Kim Weber is with me as well from Weber. Well, I want to say this the right way now. Shane, or Miss Kim Weber herself, tell us exactly how you say that. It's the
Weber's Retired Horses.
There we go. Now I can hear you. Weber's Retired Horses.
Correct.
Okay. I wanted to make sure because I don't want to mess that up because that's but it's a beautiful location, and if people have not been out there, they need to go because that's one of those things that kind of near and dear to my heart. Horses are one thing. They're full of energy and everything when they're little, but when they get older, they're sweetie pies a lot of times. Mm-hmm. And they want a lot of love, and I'm kind of getting older, and I like that more laid-back personality, and that kind of goes along with a lot of those horses. Now, what types of horses do you have out there when you say, the retired horses? Now, what are we talking about?
Most of them are retired show horses from different disciplines, and actually asking what type or breed, we have 13 or 14 different breeds of horses. Sometimes I have to remember they get mixed up, but a lot of warm bloods, a lot of horses from different areas, different breeds that you definitely wouldn't see. We probably have the most different breeds represented here in Kentucky, only short of the Kentucky Horse Park.
Oh, wow.
So
I've been there multiple times. I love that place. I think it's some place that you need to take the kids and at least let them experience that. Mm-hmm. Even if you're not necessarily in the ag world, that's something that the kids and even as adults that we can have an appreciation for that because it's just beautiful. Now, where do these horses come from? When you've got that much of a different type of horse, mm-hmm. For those who don't know, normally if you're a quarter horse person, you're a quarter horse person.
Right.
If you're a walking horse, you're a walking horse. Foxtrotter, you kind of stick with the same breed usually. So, and you said you have a lot of different ones.
We have a lot of different breeds, and basically what it is we were always kind of quarter horse people. So that's our background is reining and performance, and we had our previous farm up in Wisconsin for many years until we kind of retired back here. And then when we started this, we knew it would be open to more breeds. Not sure which niche would kind of we'd kind of get more of or not, but it's really very broad. So, like I said, many different breeds, Swedish warm blood, Dutch warm bloods, Holsteiners,
oh wow,
Mustangs, Trakaners, Hanoverians, Morgan, Arab, half Arab, Canadian Arab. We even have
the Hanoverian I've never seen, and I've always been kind of interested in that one.
Yeah, we even have a Caspian horse, which is a rare breed. I think there's only about 400 of them in the country.
Oh, wow.
And they originate from Iran. So there's a lot of different breeds, and you ask where they come from everywhere. We have a lot of horses from the Northeast, Boston, Connecticut, New York, Chicago, Florida, Wisconsin, Illinois, South Dakota, California, and we even have 2 horses from Hong Kong.
Oh my goodness!
Flew 8,000 miles to retire in Western Kentucky.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, and to be honest, if you're a horse that's hey, you worked for a long time, this is a pretty good place to retire. As far as the weather, I know as people we say, oh, it's just ridiculously hot, or oh, it's just ridiculously cold. I had an Icelandic, so I mean, from where he's originally from, he's used to cold. I don't know cold like he did, So this is a pretty good place for a lot of those horses to retire.
Yeah, it's fairly moderate. The thing is our cold season isn't very long, and our super hot season isn't very long. And for the rest of the time, it's usually pretty good. And our horses are very spoiled. In the heat of the day, they're all going to be out of the sun, standing in front of their fans. Everybody's very, very spoiled.
Oh, and everybody gets along, right?
Well, we group them accordingly to their personalities and how well they get along. We have horses that are don't get around as well.
Right.
Their soundness has slowed them
Right.
down. So they're going to be in some smaller paddocks closer to the barn.
Well,
And-
see, at my house, all the kids don't get along either all the
Yeah.
time. So, when you think about it, that's kind of the way it is, though. I mean, because horses, I think some people think that they just kind of take care of them. Oh, they just go out there and eat in the pasture. They take care of yourself.
Oh,
No.
no.
So there's a lot of work that goes into that, right?
Oh, absolutely. Every horse has different need, and we have a very specialized program, and we're actually very much a niche within the program because there are a fair amount of retirement places for horses, but they're kind of more of a throw them out in the pasture, like you say. They'll eat, they'll take care of themselves. These horses really don't do that, as some people might anticipate that. Basically, let's take your house dog, your pet that you've had, your whole life. Say you've had him for 10 years and he's used to, sleeping on your bed and his snacks all day and well treated and been to the groomer and all of those things. And then when he gets old, you're going to throw him out in a pen in the backyard and say, spend your last years there. These horses have been very pampered their whole life, most of them. They've been on show circuits. We've had horses that have been in the Olympics before. We've had some really high-powered horses that have really done well. But they're not used to flies. They're not used to being out. They're not used to. We have one horse, the first time he was out and it started to rain when he was turned out, he just panicked because he had never been in the rain.
Aww.
And so it's an adaptation. But the interesting thing is they all do learn. We just process. We take our time and really slowly work them into what retirement should look like for them. And it does take a little while, but once they figure it out, they are just amazing. Yeah.
Well, and there's a lot of heart and love and time that goes into that on your level, too, because, they're just like people. The older they get, the more ailments they get.
Oh, yes.
And sometimes they can be 4 years old and already have arthritis, and those are the things that you have to look out for, right?
Oh, absolutely. We have many, many special needs. Our feed room is kind of more of a pharmacy than it is a feed room. Every horse gets something different to eat, a different program. It's very, very individualized for each horse. We have horses that get fed up to 5 different times a day, depending on what their needs are. But and some people may call us and contact us and say, well, they're not, they're in good shape. They won't need much. Just do this. And I'm like, well, you're saying that now, but as he gets older here, his needs are going to change. And I just need to let you know that this is how we'll handle that. And most people go, I never thought about that.
Right.
I picture them going like they are, and then them not needing more, but they really do.
Well, and again, as we ask different things of them and as their body changes, maybe they're used to running every day and staying active constantly, and suddenly they don't have that job anymore. So, their body is not in constant motion. It tends to get a little stiff when we sit down in the recliner, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, now where do how do people contact you? I mean, how do you end up with these all different kinds of horses?
Well, basically, we do have a website, obviously, that's been out there, and most of the time, a lot of it is word of mouth. Once we kind of get one horse from an area, the people can be very pleased, and then they tell their friends, oh, that's where I retired Alley Cat, that's where I retired so and so. So once we kind of get to an area, we tend to pull more people from there. So we have a lot from the Northeast, and that's because we kind of got connected up there early on in our business, and then now we've got horses from California. We've got we have more people coming to visit. We do have a waiting list at the farm, so even if we had all the horses, we can't take them because we're full.
Right.
So,
well, and that's something that kind of speaks to who you are, though. You wouldn't be full if you didn't do a really great job with these horses.
Yeah, thank you. We do. We work really hard at it. We had over the weekend, we had a client from California who came in, and most people try and come about once a year to see their horse. Our clients are still very connected. They're still their horses. They pay the bills, but they're also very connected on what we're doing with the horse, what's going on, what treatment option needs to come up. And so, we had a client come in this weekend, and she has a couple horses with us, and one of her horses is nearing the end of his days, and it was kind of paramount that she come out and see really how he was. Even though we do a lot of, I'll call it FaceTime, but basically our owners are very connected through video and different things with the horses going on. We do a lot of that, but sometimes you just need to see them in person to kind of really see what's going on. But good visits. Yeah.
They are a larger animal, but I've been a horse owner, I guess, the majority of my life. And that I'm telling, there is nothing that can get in your heart any faster, I don't think, than a giant horse. It's something about it, and it can be from the time that they're little bitty on up till the time that they're 20 and 30, and that they really near the end of their life, because they can be your best friend for the majority of your life. And I said that's
absolutely.
a partnership.
Absolutely. People who don't have horses don't understand that, but they're really, as you know, horse people are very connected with their horses.
Well, there's a lot of partnership and friendship and trust that goes between you and them, because when you're on your 15th mile of the day, or you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you're in wherever you are on the trail, that you're depending on that animal to bring you home. And I don't think I've ever had a better friend in the world than one of my horses. Of course, don't get me wrong, I fell off of them too, Shane. I wasn't feeling too friendly right about that time. But hey, with somebody that works with them like you do, I'm pretty sure that the equipment that you need, and the grass and the pasture and different things like that, you're probably a lady that's been there, done that, and figured out what works for you and what doesn't.
Well, it's a life process of learning, and no matter what industry or discipline you're in, I'm sure. But definitely, a lot of times Rob and I, most of the time, learn things the hard way. It's like, well, we're not going to try that again. But no, we've been in it many, many years. I think Rob and I were talking yesterday, and we have like 80 years combined experience between the two of us with horses, and I'm like, that makes me feel old.
Oh my
But
goodness.
we've just been, we've been in the horse business and horse experience our whole lives, both of us. So it's been really good, though, but we're always looking. We're never stop learning, and we're always looking at ways to make the farm better. And, that's when it's been nice that Shane approached us a while back and said, hey, I've got a program that they're looking to maybe apply to people in the horse industry, and they're looking for farms to kind of check out. And so he kind of hooked us up there. And
she may kill me later after this is all said and done.
Famous last words, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, what I love about that, though, is that sometimes we have these conferences at a gym or something like that, or you have a luncheon and it's in a really nice conference center, and that's great, and we learn things. But when we can be hands-on and look at something like Weber's, where you can go in and say, look, now they did it the right way. And you can look at us and say, but it didn't start that way, and here's what I learned and how.
Absolutely.
That's why I'm looking forward to it. And as far as pasture and different things like that, I mean, how many times has it taken you to get to the point where you say, you know what, I like that, that's what works for us?
Well, a lot of times it's just, and in the last number of years, we've tried, we've worked, we've seeded, we've done some different things with our pastures. Obviously not all the right way. Certain things, we happen to skip that spot, usually because of money. It's like, oh, well, it needs more fertilizer. Well, it's not in the budget this year, So different things come along that when we've kind of struggled with, we have struggled with pasture quality for a number of years. But the one thing is we had so much pasture that the horses could kind of pick and choose. So when we were able to kind of work with these guys and get our quality up all together, it's still a work in progress. Everything is looking a lot better in the pasture realm, but still things to work on. And a lot of times it's the weather.
Right.
It's trying to navigate that when you think you're going to do something and the weather totally.
Well, and when it goes with right along with the pasture as well as the feed, and when you talked about the feed room, that's one of those things where how in the world, I mean, do you filter through the 12 million brands? And I guess people had this notion that sometimes that, hey, it's corn and oats and that's what. No.
Oh, no.
There is a world of nothing but horse feed that you could just lose yourself in, on research. And I mean, how do you guys go through all that and filter? I mean, do you literally have to read the label every time something new comes out?
No, basically what happens is we have a program that pretty much kind of works for us. We know, typical feeds that kind of we can adapt for most of the horses that we have there. And usually when a horse comes in, we always say to the owner to send us what feed are they eating? What hay are they eating? Send us some with the horse when he comes. Because even the first week or two he arrives, we don't want to change their program. We want to make very small changes so that the transition is smooth. We don't want to pull him out from where he's been and come and say, okay, new place, new friends, new feed, new hay, new everything, and kind of shock their system. Horses can be pretty sensitive to changes that way. So we always have them send with what they're already eating, and then we take a look at that if there's something we need to do. But we can usually, with what options we have available, we can usually slowly change them into our programming. But we have a many health issues, horses that are metabolic, who have Cushing's, horses that are basically, for layman's terms here, they're diabetic. It's like, how do you feed those horses with all those different problems? And then we're able to manage that with a lot of different feedstuffs, but
well, in horses, I mean, they can have things that very closely mimic some of the ailments that humans have as well. I didn't know that. You
didn't know they had thyroid problems.
Well,
and this and
I
that.
had a horse with Cushing's.
Yes.
So I've experienced that. But I'll tell you, the last horse that I just. You look at them and you say, "Oh, I shouldn't. I don't need it." But it looked at me with that way and blinked its eyes, and suddenly it lives at my house. I mean, that's the way that it happens. My husband never wants me to take the trailer anywhere because it always comes back with stuff in it. When we left, and it was perfectly empty, mind you. But I had one with epilepsy.
Oh yeah.
And I've had to kind of learn how to deal with that, and the sleep apneas and the epilepsies and. I never knew that one could have sleep apnea until I had one that had sleep apnea. And those are the weirdest things that I never knew.
All systems, the endocrine system, circulatory, heart, kidneys. I mean, we've had every issue. Obviously a lot of them are skeletal, arthritis and lameness issues in that way. But we've got horses with bad hearts, bad kidneys, bad thyroids, just all sorts. So
well, if you're like me and you walk in and you say, you know what, I'm not a vet, I'm not, I'm a layman and I do the best that I can. What is some of the trouble? When you walk in and you see a horse doing something, you say, okay, that's trouble. I got to make a phone call. I need to do that now. What are some of the warning signs that something's going awry?
Oh, well, absolutely. The first thing is you got to know your horse. And we're out there first thing in the morning, last thing at 10 o'clock at night. I'm out in the barn doing bedtime barn check. So you have to know your horses. You've got to know what their normal personalities and behaviors are. And Rob and I we're so in tune to these guys. I mean, we can just look at them in the stall and just tell by the look in their eye that they're not right. But for the most part, obviously, if they're not eating, all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm walking through the check barn and so-and-so didn't finish his hay, and that horse is a vacuum cleaner any other time of the day, then I know there's a problem with that horse. But I could go to the next stall down, and there's a horse with hay left in his stall, but I know that one, he's a very picky eater. He takes all night to eat his hay, so hay left in that stall is not alarming to me at all. So it really is knowing your animal right off the bat, really, really knowing them, and they're going to clue you in and also their stall. Horses are usually very they're, I don't know what do you say, but they're creatures of habits. So their stall is usually going to look the same, but if you go in there and their stall is all, they've kicked shavings all over the place and walked a hole in the center of the stall, and you happen to walk by and they're just standing there looking at you just fine.
Oh, I didn't do it.
But you glance down and you're like, what has gone on here? You obviously know that there's been a little distress going on. So it's knowing your animal, and then, I guess the good thing about that is when Dr. Maddox does her speech on out at the field day, she's going to be able to spend a lot more in-depth time on covering on maintaining that healthy horse and knowing those signs.
I'll tell you, and she's good at this too, Mr. Bogel, Mr. Shane Bogel. If I'd forgotten to mention him, and I focus so much on Kim Weber because I'm so excited about her being here. I want to pick her brain, but I'll tell you, Libby is wonderful.
She is, and specializing in something. You can be an overall vet. It's just like our family doctors and physicians, they specialize in different things. She specializes in horses, and having that for Kim and Rob out there, having that vet-client relationship. UK, that's one thing that we push for any livestock owner, is having that one-on-one relationship with your veterinarian, because every now and then it's going to get above your head, and you do need to call somebody and conference with somebody that knows just a little bit more about that specific topic.
It starts above my head. I'm going to tell you that right now, because equine science, that's hard. I mean, it's not easy. Because, cows and horses, very different. I mean, you can't feed them the same. The nutritional stuff is different. Their needs are different down to how much water they need every day and how you water them as well. We had the automatic waterers that can cost thousands of dollars for, our horses. Or, we have the cheaper fountains that, you can put in the stalls as well. And that's one of the things that I love about Equine Day is that, these are tested methods, and these are tested products, and these are tested theories that, we can come out and see how you guys do it as well. Because sometimes knowing how somebody else does it can make a huge difference. Mm-hmm. I mean, you'd be surprised, I think, a lot of people, like how many people try to give your horses treats. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily good. Lawn clippings, and they're thinking they're giving them a treat, and that's not the case, correct?
Right.
So, I mean, we've got exhibitor booths out here as well.
We are there, and we are still having those come in, folks that are interested. We're still going to be talking to some more folks this week about having their materials out there.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And if anybody's interested, for
they
sure.
Yes, and they have built a lot of time. The planners from Lexington, Dr. Coleman, and the group that are doing most of the education part of this have built in an hour for folks to interact with these exhibitors.
Plus they'll be open. I mean, they'll be open through the whole time, but an hour when nothing else is going on but to focus on them. Yeah.
Well, and I liked the feeding from the inside out with Dr. Bob Coleman. I'm looking forward to that one as well. I think that's one that, it kind of starts with the inside, and I think that's where you see a lot of the shiny coat and a lot of those things, right? Mm-hmm.
The majority of folks, we hate to say this, the smaller horse producers, I think that's where the biggest mistakes are made for horse owners is the feed situation. And, I look at a few over the years, and you walk up and they said, they're so fat that they can't hardly walk, and they're getting the best quality alfalfa hay, and they're getting the highest protein content
feed. You've seen my
feed.
donkeys recently, haven't you? They're fat.
So we have a tendency to overfeed horses in general. And that is a thing that I admire about Kim and their group out there and the folks that they've got working for them, that they dial that in. They take into consideration the activity of that horse, the breed of that horse, how he come in, what he looked like when he come onto that farm, and continue that feed where there's not a change in that condition score on that horse.
Where there's a scoring chart that goes along with everything.
There is. And 5 is about an ideal score. Is it impossible to keep every horse at a 5 all the time? Absolutely. Right. But what people don't realize too is, and I guess it's like your dog's running, but overfeeding and horses that are obese actually can be as big a problem, if not bigger, than a horse that's too thin. I mean, there's so many problems that go along with that. I mean, laminitis absolutely is the first one that jumps out. Nobody wants a horse that's foundered, because that's permanent damage that you never really ever get back, and can even be, obviously, it can be fatal if it's
right.
Feeding is very, very important, and it can be managed. And you go, well, I can't help it. He's a big pasture. This. It's like, you know what? We've got some horses who wear grazing muzzles, and they can graze out there and be out there all day with their friends and still be just getting little nibbles, just what they need, instead of all you can eat buffet, but that's what it takes to manage them. So
and
there's
somebody
lots
like
of different
me,
things.
When you look at the bag, there is a lot of numbers and a lot of percentages, and there's the proteins and the different kinds of fats, and then there's all the supplements that are weight builders, or maybe you've got one that's heavy, and there's a beet. I mean, beet, or all the different grains that they're doing now. Man, that gets confusing, and I don't see how in the world that you guys do that. And for the typical small farmer like us that may have a few horses that you like to trail ride with, that can really get confusing. So I really liked the Dr. Bob Coleman session with the feeding from the inside out, because I'm hoping that's really going to... I'm just going to stay all day, if you haven't noticed, using cost share to reduce overgrazing. That's a huge one, Shane.
Yes.
I am one of the first ones that'll tell you, hey, he's my neighbor. I can't get anything past him. That's why I admit things, But hey, I think we all do it, though, as far as rotating paddocks. And maybe it's the middle of July and all of your paddocks are starting to suffer. that you've got to rotate even that much more. And I know that you say, well, I don't have a lot of time and I don't have extra fencing and that sort of thing, but it's something that we need to put the time into.
Definitely, 9 out of 10 places that I go look at pasture, the first thing that I notice is overgrazing. We've got weed problems. We've got toxic weed problems because there's too many horses on a small area of land.
Right.
So I said, well, what do I do? So get rid of some animals.
Hey, it happened to me. Purple Perilla was one of them that we ended up because of overgrazing.
Mm-hmm. Sometimes that's what we have to come down to. And well, I want my pastures to look like when I drive to Lexington.
Right.
Well, that's not going to happen if you have 6 horses on an acre. It's not going to happen.
And some people may say, well, it's green, so mine's not overgrazed. And that's not true,
That
right?
is definitely not true.
It's what's in it that's
Exactly.
green is where it's
The
at.
reason it's still green is because they're not eating it.
Yeah, that's right.
Because it's that bad. Right.
She mentioned a buffet, and horses are just like people. They have forages that they prefer.
They are God's
And
lawnmower.
just because it's green
That's what
does
they
not
are.
mean they're going to eat it.
That's right. Well, there's some things too. There we go back again. Cattle can eat some things. They may go out and love that Teresa, where a horse will come up and say, you know what? Not so much. I'd rather not. give me some orchard grass or something. Don't give me that. So it's a give and take, and it's something that if you come out to this equine day, it sounds to me like you're pretty well going to leave a whole lot smarter than what you showed up. Mm-hmm. And you're going to feed us too, right?
That is correct. Yes, and we do need folks to call and register for this event, definitely, because we are going to have a little bit above average meal for that day. So I do need to plan for that. So if you are want to come, please call the office at 365-2787 and register for that event, so we make sure that we have enough ribeye for everybody.
Yeah. Yes, he said that. I'm just saying, yeah, you heard that right this morning. He said that, and yes, I've RSVP'd like 5 times. I've told him like 5 times that I'm coming already. So, hey, I'll tell you, if they need to, again, Caldwell County Extension Office, 270-365-2787. Of course, they can grab your email address as well. You're online. And if any of the functions that they have coming up, they're always really good about putting that on Facebook, on their website, giving out any of the information that you need. Of course, a lot of times you can catch them right here every Wednesday from the Caldwell County Extension Office. So they're really good about that as well. I call them all the time asking questions, and they always answer my questions, so that's great. But Miss Kim Weber, and tell your husband we said thank you, and we sure do appreciate all the work that you guys have done, and you have a beautiful, beautiful horse farm, and we love that the retirement aspect of that.
Thank you.
Now, if somebody is interested in what you do, have you got a phone number or anything they can call?
Sure. They could always give a call, 270-625-9474. And then we're on, like I said, we're on the internet, www.webersretiredhorses.com. There's the website there full of information, and a lot of information about the horses that we've had there, and some of the stories of these horses and what they've done in the past can be a lot of really interesting reading. And there's a contact form there as well. So if people don't catch me by phone, or not sure time wise, on the farm, sometimes you've got horse in hand or this or that. I don't always get to answer my phone when I want to. Shane will tell you that. We're always kind of hit or miss back and forth.
I think we were texting at 10 o'clock the other night.
Yes. But anyways, they can always fill out the contact form there, and we can get back to them about any questions or things they may have too.
Well, horses are therapeutic,
and
absolutely. You've got a
absolutely.
great facility for that. And these guys have some of them, I'm sure, some inspirational stories.
Oh, absolutely.
There is. It's a very high-quality website, and I've spent some time on there. Those stories are neat, very interesting. So spend some time, and that can answer a lot of folks' questions just by their website, which is what it's for.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And just look at the images. They've got lots of pictures of their animals and some of the past animals that have went on. And the good thing about this field day is the cooperation with so many different entities to make this happen.
This took a while, right?
Yeah.
Well, think about it. Equine is the second largest income to the state of Kentucky. Mm-hmm. Okay, the second largest.
Take that in, will you?
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have not had a lot of cost share help, a lot of incentives for equine-related activities in the state. And this is one of those cooperations with our Natural Resource Conservation Service, University of Kentucky, of course the Weber's Farm, to help hopefully someday make this more available for folks.
Yes, yeah.
Well, what I'm a little surprised by is, as a horse owner, and you do have issues that come up, or maybe you just want to check in with somebody else and see what they do, there's not a lot of really good information out there when it gets really specific. You have me and my dad did this, and, we've done this for 20 years. There's a lot of he said, she said, but there's not a whole lot of really good, solid information on this is the feed you need, or this is what this will do. And, but, and it almost sometimes when I look things up leaves me with more questions than what I had before I started looking it up, to be honest.
So often, and it's because it's, I'll say that one of the biggest problems that thing is, well, why do you do that? Because we've always done it that way.
I hear that a lot.
We've always, my papa did this or this and that, and that's one of the biggest, things. Rob and I, in certain areas of our farm, we used to do things a certain way. But just like with the technology and the computers and that end of the world, there's so many changes still within the horse industry, equine, grazing, forages, different products to help improve different things. You can never sit there and stay where you're at. You've got to keep looking forward. And, Rob and I, we're always looking at a better way to do something or whatever. We're never done. People are like, oh, you got the farm where you want. Oh, no, we're never done. You're going to come out and you're going to see some things that they've done. And Rob and I are going to be quick to point out the things that, well, we haven't had a chance to fix that yet. We haven't got that where we wanted it yet.
Well, that was fixed last week before he broke it,
Yeah.
We'll leave it to a horse.
You got to always keep looking forward and don't be too proud to ask for help or say, hey, I need more information about that. And same thing, I'm calling Shane going, I need more information about that. So
well, and just because they've drove by the place doesn't mean that they've seen all there is to see, right? I mean,
no.
during Equine Day, they're not going to see
they're
all
not even going to see. We were going to a totally different place than people see on this farm. So
I think it's going to be a great time.
We're going to drive right on past the barns and the main entrance, and we're going to go to the back side of the farm where this event's going to be happening.
I like that because it's like special access. We get some special access out there, right? You got to
behind
have
the scenes.
Yeah, they're hiding the ribeye is what they're doing, Kim. I know his. Hey, that is September 5th, and that's coming up really, really soon. And, of course, again, it's Weber's Retired Horses, LLC, 1013 Dripping Springs Road, Princeton. Of course, we're going to have a meal. We're going to be doing some eating and all kinds of educational stuff that day and learning the ins and outs and the what to do's and what not to do. So we sure do appreciate you guys coming out today and telling us all about this. We've been pretty excited about this and kind of talking about it for a while.
We've been building anticipations.
Yeah, but it's taken a while to get it all put together. It's years in the making, and I think I'm hoping this is going to be an annual thing. I really do, because it's really worthwhile.
Well, these are annual across the whole state. This is just the first time that this configuration has been in the western end of the state.
And we've got people coming in from this, too. I mean, it's not just people locally. Of course, we've got tons of horse folks in the area. But we've got some people really coming in for this and a lot of hard work.
Well, too, and intention to stress, people think horses, they think Lexington, and, there's a whole lot of horses. Whole lot of horses in western Kentucky, and people don't even blink an eye to even think about that. And, but, people need to realize what we have around here in the industry and that it's a big industry to our economy here. Look, I mean, our people come in and they visit and, they stay here, they eat here, they spend money downtown, they visit Adsmore, and that's true of many of the other horse farms around. People are coming and going all the time, so.
Well, thank you so much. I'm hoping to see you guys a lot more, and hopefully we'll have a lot more of these kind of things for everybody, and we'll just cover you up is what I'm hoping we're going to do on Equine Day. You're going to have to buy more cows. You're going to run out of ribeye there, Bogel. Hey, give me the phone number one more time, 365-2787, or you can check them out. It's the Caldwell County Extension Office and Weber's Retired Horses, LLC. It's Tess and Ty. Stick around. Coming up next, we're going to check in and see if our buddy Ty, of course, he ran off and left me again this morning. He didn't go very far, though. He's right across the street over there at Trice Hughes. We're going to check in with him in just a minute from Tess and Ty and 1580 103.3 WPKY.
Let's think about customization presented by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty Mutual customizes your auto insurance so you only pay for what you need. So why aren't more things in life customizable? Why isn't a burger cheaper when you ask for no onions? I don't want them, so shouldn't you deduct the price of the onions, right? Otherwise, I'm paying for the onions, but I'm not receiving any onions.
Go to libertymutual.com for a customized quote and you could save.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Coverage is underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Equal Housing Insurer.
Get the whole family ready to step into that famous back-to-school feeling with Famous Footwear's buy one, get one half off sale going on now. That's one pair of checkered Vans for him and half off Adidas for her. Fresh new Timberlands for her and half off new sandals for you. Shop top brands that'll make your family feel like they're on top of the world. Famous Footwear, because everyone deserves to feel a little famous. Buy one item, get a second item of equal or lesser value for half price. Some exclusions apply.
WPKY.
Since 1978, Perry's Floors & More has been selling, installing, and servicing homeowners throughout Western Kentucky with quality flooring and workmanship. Perry's Floors & More carries luxury vinyl plank and luxury vinyl tile, carpet, window treatments, and more. Brands like Mannington, Shaw, Tarkett, Beaulieu, and Flexitech. Quality brands, excellent customer service, combined with 40 years experience is why they say you can walk on our reputation. See Bill and Lucy at Perry's Floors & More, 127 West Market Street, Princeton.
Are you struggling to afford healthcare or medications? Let Health First help you. Whether you're insured, uninsured, or underinsured, you will still be cared for at Health First Community Health Center. We offer financial and prescription assistance to all those that qualify, which is based on income and household size. Contact our office for more information at 365-9455 or visit our website. Same-day appointments and walk-ins are always welcome. Located at 1100 South Jefferson Street in Princeton. At Health First, your health is our first concern.
1580 103.3 WPKY. And of course, we are always out and about on Monday mornings. And Ty, are you over there at Trice Hughes?
Well, no, I'm not, Tess. I am a cowboy. On a steel horse I ride.
What?
I'm not wanted, dead or alive yet, but
you
the home team has fixed me up this morning. Home team at Trice Hughes has me in a 2019 Chevrolet Silverado RST crew cab, and I'm telling you, what a beauty this is. Whether you're taking the family out with the crew cab, everybody going to the restaurant, you're going out to eat, or you're going to the game, or if you're hauling that horse trailer, this is the ride for you. Rear vision camera, teen driver mode if you got those teens, StabiliTrack with trailer sway for those pulling trailers, and control and hill start assist. This baby's loaded up, of course, all the bells and whistles on the console. Everything is right here on the steering wheel or on the console. Rear air, and of course all-wheel drive when you need it, and it is Trice price, of course, and you can check it out. It is black and it is a beauty. It's a 2019 Chevrolet Silverado RST crew cab, and it is we call it a hoss, a steel hoss. Yes.
Well, I'll tell you, the hill assist is something that I wish I had. That's one of those things that you don't know you don't have till you need it.
That's exactly right, and those pulling horse trailers, this hill assist is great. You know, if you get on a hill and you just go, but you've got and everything's, again, right here on the console, easy access. And, of course, if you're tech savvy, they have the full touchscreen, 4G LTE, OnStar, Apple, Android ready. I mean, it is a beaut here, Tess, and everybody can see it over at the home team on Trice Hughes over at the lot, Trice Hughes in downtown Princeton. And before we get out of here, I also want to talk to the folks and everybody out there about the Trice Hughes home team deal of the week. This is a 2016 Chevy Equinox all-wheel drive. It only has 17,000 miles, leather, Kelley Blue Book fair purchase of $22,547. It's Trice priced at $21,300. So call Trice and get the home team working hard for you, 270-896-0753. If they don't have what you're looking for, they'll find it. Check out their inventory without ever leaving the house at TriceHughesGM.com or visit the dealership, Highway 91 North in Princeton. Trice wants your business, so give Trice a try. And Tess, I am enjoying this beautiful 2019 Chevy Silverado.
I bet you are. I'll tell you what, I've got a deal for you. Since you got to get in this truck, you know, the truck is, that's kind of my thing, you know. So I'm thinking maybe if since you got to drive it this time, we can ride by the farm later. I've got some hay. We could test it out. I'll test drive it, and you just run behind me and throw the bales in the back, and we'll see how many we can stack back there. How about that?
I know I kind of look like a geek,
What?
but I've thrown a few hail bales.
Hey, it's going to be fun.
Hey, how can I say that?
Hay bales.
I can't say it.
It'll be
Bales
fun.
of hay. How about that? In my day.
There's
a
game.
You're on, Tess, and I tell you, this is the vehicle for that. And it has even remote start. So if it's raining outside and you just want to get it started real quick, and now it won't drive itself yet, but almost. But you can remote start it, and it'll be ready to go for you.
Oh, no, if you're like me, you don't want it to drive itself because that's half the fun. You with a truck like that, you want to drive it. You don't want it to drive itself.
That's
you need
exactly
the guy
right.
that runs beside you, you know?
You got it, and it feels great out on the highway as well. I'm cruising down the road right now at about 38, 40 miles an hour, and I mean, it is smooth as silk and just a great ride. So check it out. It is black 2019 Chevrolet Silverado Crew Cab RST, all-wheel drive. That's at Tri-Shoes. The home team, Highway 91 North in Princeton.
I'll tell you, one of my favorite things about those trucks, those big crew cabs, is I said, when I got my vehicle, I said, when we were looking for a different vehicle, and they said, were you going to do an SUV this time? And I said, no, I need a truck. I need something that I can take to church. I can throw my kids in the middle, and we can go to football practice, or we can take them to school, or I don't have to go home and switch cars. I can just go jump in the bottoms. I can get back in the field. I can get to where I was doing and whatever I was going, hook up to the trailer, and never have to actually change vehicles. And that is a vehicle that you're in right now that will absolutely do it all.
No doubt about it, Tess. And when you open it up, of course, it's got the 4 doors, but plenty of leg room in the back for everybody, even if you have large adults in there. Beautiful leg and head room here in this truck, and perfect just if you're going out for a night on the town or working on the farm.
Hey, I love the fact anytime you can actually, haul hay or do what we need to do throughout the day on the farm, and the fact that you can get into a vehicle that's got that really cold AC, it's got that new truck kind of feel where everything's nice and cooled off and comfortable, and you don't have to sweat all the way home. Hey, I love it, and I'll tell you what, if you want to drop it off here for me, that'll be fine.
You got it, and I got that air blowing in here. It's nice and cool, and they have rear controls in the back, of course, covered with the warranties, great GM product, and just the best. And like I said, we'll have it out in front of the radio station for a few minutes before I take it back. I just feel like I just need to stick around and just drive it all day.
I'm sure you do. Get back here to the house. I want to see that truck. That's what they would need. You get in the truck, come on back to the big house. How about that?
All righty, and we'll see you back there. Again, you can check it out at Tri-Shoes in Princeton. Give the home team, Tri-Shoes Chevrolet 91 North in Princeton, a try. And, Tess, I'm on my way back, and we'll take it for a spin real quick. What do you say?
That sounds good to me. Come on back. It's Tess and Ty in 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
Well, it looks like we got some rain today, but it's nothing that truck can't handle. I can promise you that. We'll go through. Hey, maybe he'll get over here. Trent, just don't look. We'll go find a mud puddle. Just don't tell Trent about it. Grab the umbrella as they head out to school this morning. I hope that's what they did. They're going to need it at the bus stop this afternoon. Moms and dads are, as they're waiting for them to get off the bus. Now, showers likely. Possibly a thunderstorm in the mix or two this afternoon. Mild with a high near 78, and tonight 20% shot at showers on your overnight low about 68, and then on Soccer Tuesday for tomorrow 50-50 shot at showers and thunderstorms, high of 82, and on Wednesday mostly sunny with a high near 81. It is 78 at 50, or it is not that. I don't know what I was thinking this morning. 72. He's got me all excited about this truck that he's bringing home. It's 72 at 1580, 103.3 WPKY.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Great Wall Chinese Restaurant.
This is Mallory Hancock Lawrence, and we love our Caldwell and Lyon County friends. We invite you to come to Cada's anytime you can to shop with us. We're making it even easier for you. Whether you work in Cada's or just come to town for a visit, stop in and shop with us. But if you're in a hurry, you can pre-order your groceries at HancocksNeighborhoodMarket.com. It's so easy and convenient. Of course, we want to see your smiling face anytime we can, but if you're in a hurry, HancocksNeighborhoodMarket.com is the way to go. Hancock's Neighborhood Market, Cada's.
For a delicious meal, try Kay's Kitchen in Princeton. They have great home cooking, just like Mom and Grandma used to do. Enjoy cook-to-order breakfast every day, all day. Daily lunch specials include favorites like open-faced roast beef, grilled chicken tenderloins, country fried steak, smoked pork chops, and catfish and shrimp on Fridays. All your favorite veggies, too. And don't forget Kay's homemade desserts. Open Monday through Thursday, 5 to 2, Friday, 5 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Saturday, 5:30 to 11. Kay's Kitchen, 501 North Jefferson Street, Princeton, 1 block from the courthouse.
Coming soon in the fall of 2019, a state-of-the-art memory care unit at Princeton Health and Rehab. This unit will have 38 available beds, its own dining and activity areas, which will include a multi-sensory snooze-lint room, a highly therapeutic environment for the purpose of delivering high levels of stimuli to patients with dementia. The highly desirable setting and space will fill up quickly. Please contact Angie Copeland today to secure your place. Call 270-705-0688.
Hi, Caldwell County. I'm Allie Coleman with First Southern National Bank, and I'm ready to service your next loan. Whether you're wanting to build your first home, buy an investment property, or add square footage for your growing family, we can tailor a solution just for you. Stop by my office at 101 West Washington Street in Princeton, or give me a call at 270-365-3545 to apply today. First Southern National Bank, Equal Housing Lender, Federal Registry 409424, NMLS 1002990.
1580 or 103.3 WPKY. And of course, here he comes with his tail between his legs. No, he is all excited, and I don't blame him. He got to run around in this gorgeous truck. I mean, now she's a looker.
What do you think about that?
Hey, I think that's sharp, and I think I should have drove that, not you. That's what I think.
Somebody had to do it. But if
hey, I could have filled that thing up. That is one of those that it takes a licking and keeps on ticking. I will say.
Ooh, it's almost too pretty to give it a licking, but it is,
no.
Boy, it's a nice ride. Again, completely loaded.
You haven't ever heard that the dirtier a four-wheel drive truck is, the better looking it looks?
Yeah, I mean,
like the more mud you get on the outside, it's like a.
You can get a little mud on the tire on that one.
Hey, you can get a lot of mud on the tire on that one. I know, but I will say it is a gorgeous black. That's probably my favorite color on trucks. That and a candy apple red. But there's nothing nicer and sharper, more slick than a brand new black four-wheel drive truck. I mean, it's just it is sharp.
Yeah, if you're out and about, it's sitting right in front of WPKY. Here at 1035 West Main, and
it's got that cool bumper.
Oh yeah,
I just noticed it's got that fancy one with the steps built into the bumper.
It's got the assist, step-up assist, and then for big old boys like me, it's got side running boards here, but you can actually grab the handle when you get in the in the cab. So, but
you know what those steps on the bumper are for? Because there's been too many of us that ended up on the ground because we didn't have steps on the bumper.
Yeah, I mean,
I love that though.
Whoever thought
it's
of that?
One of the best inventions.
Feature, yeah, that's awesome.
That, and it's got one of those fancy tailgates on it too. Oh, yeah. I love that. I'll tell you, this is a really nice truck. You need to go by and tell them that we sent you over there too, because I just like them to know that we sent you over there.
Yeah, I mean,
I
had it out. I didn't
say, hey, I want that truck that Tess was drooling over a while ago.
Yeah, at least she's not drooling on it.
Well, not at the moment.
Over it.
I'm going to get off the air in a minute, and then I'll go try. Hey, it is 8:54, and we've had a great time. You missed Shane Bogel and Kim Weber. Of course, we've got our equine field day coming up, and that's just around the corner, and that's going to be such a good time. I mean, you talk about if you're like me, you have a lot of buddies that have horses and that sort of thing, and you're in that field, and maybe you own horses, or you're around them a lot. There's tons of information that really and truly can be really confusing, that we're going to really kind of be able to ask questions and of people that you don't normally have sitting in front of you. These are the people that know what they're doing, Ty.
That's right. They're PhDs and professors that study different forages. They study horses, and they're very knowledgeable in their field. So it's going to be a wonderful, wonderful day out at the Weber Farm evening, and great meal, but great information to boot if you're out there and you have horses and have questions about the cost sharing and all that. It's going to be an educational session and a nice evening.
I will say, too, something else that's educational is this Black Patch book that I keep seeing and hearing about. There's actually trivia in this thing. If you haven't seen one yet, or you haven't put your hands on it, that's something that you want to do, because it's actually got trivia all the way through there, and they're the neatest questions. And I know we were talking about, maybe the answers to those, but I believe Roy Jean Rogers is going to have a time here pretty soon that everybody can get together and find out the answers, right?
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of answers, and there will be prizes for those that know some of the answers to them. But some of the things that are covered in the book, of course, which was like who was the first Black Patch Baby Contest winner, what former Kentucky governor and U.S. senator attended the 1937 festival, how many full days of events took place at the 37 festival, and then who was the supposed leader of the Night Riders, and who was his lieutenant. Wonderful historical questions, and several folks got together and put these together. There is historical information about the Black Patch itself, and as far as of course the timeline of the day's events leading up to that. So get yourself one of these. They're catalogs. They're out in the community. Some of the Optimist Club members will be delivering them as well. And we certainly, Optimist Club appreciates those that have sponsored this catalog.
It's really nice. It's really pretty. There's things in it. It's one thing when you just got a sponsor's catalog, but it's another thing when there's actually content in it as well that's really you're not going to find anywhere else. That's what I love about this book. It's not only, you've put a lot of thought into like the graphics and different things in it. Makes it really nice, the pictures, but the trivia and the stories and the different things like that are in it really make it neat.
Little extra content this year, a lot of historical stuff, and then of course I really enjoy the feature of our co-grand marshals, Judy Bowes and Dot McConnell.
Oh,
nice
they're
little write-up on them as well. And
I love Dot. Bless her heart. She is a hoot. And so's Miss Judy. And we really enjoyed them when they were here and spoke to us and talked to us for a little bit. And they've got really interesting things to remember and the memories and the experiences that they've had. So if you see them, ask them.
Yeah,
I guarantee they would love to tell you all about it.
Great stories, and two deserving ladies to be co-grand marshals of this year's Black Patch Parade. So really, folks, it's coming up. It'll be here soon. Roy Jean and George Kilgore from the Optimist Club will be in to tell us more about it, but it all gets underway Friday, September 6th at 4. Start lining up for the parade. The parade will begin at 5 o'clock, go through downtown Princeton, and then, of course, on Saturday it all begins with the Kiwanis Pancake Breakfast at Ogden Methodist Church, and that begins at 7 o'clock, and all the events all throughout the day, all downtown and scattered all over the place. And we'll be telling you more about it as we head into the week and get closer to Black Patch Weekend.
Hey, you know what I heard? I heard WPKY is going to be there at Black Patch.
Yes.
And I heard, now, can you keep a secret?
I can.
Because this is kind of
I
hush-hush.
think I can. I don't know.
This is kind of hush-hush.
If it's radio.
As long as you promise not to tell anybody, I'll tell you a secret.
Okay.
And this is coming from the top.
Okay.
From the top, the very tippy top. I heard a secret and a rumor.
Okay.
We're going to be giving away goodies at Black Patch.
Oh, yeah.
I heard.
I wouldn't doubt that.
I heard it from a reputable source.
Okay. Well, I would hope that we would have some boot to hand out.
Oh, we've got some goodies. And
right.
It was one of those that they actually told of what a couple of the goodies were going to be, and I was like, oh, I want one of those. Well, where are we hiding that at?
All right.
So, I mean, it's going to be good. It'll be fun.
It's going to be a wonderful day. WPKY crew will be on hand throughout Black Patch with the parade and
Antics.
On Saturday. So
Lots
it'll be
of
a lot
antics.
of fun, and we want you to come find us and see us. We're usually camped out right in front of Black Patch Grill, and you can be able to find us there. And
Go figure.
And, yeah, we're camped out right there, and just look for the WPKY folks. We'll be there.
Ty and I in front of the food.
Yeah, that's
Who'd have
surprising.
thought, who'd have saw that one
There'll
coming?
be food all over the place, though, so the smells, the bells, and all the good stuff. So,
all right, that's it. I'm going to put a bell and a bow
do
on
I have to
Monday.
take it back?
That no, you don't have to take it back because I'm going to take it for a drive.
All right.
So, hey, stick around. Still to come, we got your full forecast. We've got your news updates. We got your sports updates because Todd Griffin, man, he got it nailed down. That guy knows all about it, and he's going to get you informed from from volleyball to football to soccer to ladies soccer. You name it, it's going to be there. So stick around for that. It's 1580 103.3 WPKY.
I'm Chris Foster.
President Trump says he expects serious talks soon to end a trade dispute with China.
I think we're probably in a much better position now than at any time during the negotiation.
The president at the G7 summit in France says his trade negotiators took 2 calls from Chinese officials last night. A spokesman for China's foreign ministry says he's not aware of any calls. Rulings expected today in a state lawsuit about opioid addiction.
The state of Oklahoma has been suing Johnson & Johnson and their drug-making subsidiary Janssen, claiming the companies knew the risks of opioid abuse among patients and continued to push the drugs for use by doctors and pharmacies. Unlike other cases with other pharmaceuticals, this case was not settled out of court, and the trial resulted in a trove of evidence in the form of usually private drug company data and communication being made public.
Fox 7 Brown, Johnson & Johnson's attorneys argue the company did nothing wrong. America is listening to Fox News.
Voice of Caldwell County. We're 1580, 103.3 WPKY Princeton. Here's your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast.
A 70% chance of showers, maybe a thunderstorm today, a high near 78. Tonight, those chance of showers and thunderstorms down to 30%, a low 69. 50-50 shot of showers tomorrow, cloudy otherwise, a high near 82. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy, a low around 62. Sunshine returns for your Wednesday, a high around 81. The remainder of the week looking pretty good, with the next chance of showers coming on the weekend. Again, for today, you can expect showers and thunderstorms, 70% chance with a high of 78.
Your WPKY Weather Edge Weather Center forecast is brought to you by Health First Community Health Center.
Tuesdays are the worst. They're all that stands between you and the downhill part of the week. But now they're a lot less worse, because Wing Tuesdays at B-Dubs are buy one, get one free traditional wings. So Monday, you may kick off the week. Wednesday, you may have a cool nickname. Thursday, you might be the almost weekend, but watch your back, because Tuesdays just officially became Wing Tuesdays. Buffalo Wild Wings. Roar!
Buy one traditional wings order and get one of equal value free. Participation and promotional details vary by location. Check in with your favorite Buffalo Wild Wings to learn more about this offer.
Summer's here, and there's no better time to hit the road. At AutoZone, we've got the free services you need to drive with confidence, like our AutoZone Rewards program. Members get a $20 reward every time they spend $20 or more 5 times. And is your ride ready for a wash? At AutoZone, we have the products you need to enhance and restore your car's appearance, like Jay Leno's Garage products. Visit us at AutoZone.com and start the job fast with free same-day store pickup and free next-day delivery. See terms at AutoZone.com/rewards. Restrictions apply.
Your voice was heard, and you voted Pet Grooming by David Rogers #1 in pet boarding in all of Western Kentucky. David offers complete grooming, baths, and provides a personalized, all-inclusive boarding resort while you are away. Thank you for
for a lot of those horses to retire.
Yeah, it's fairly moderate. The thing is our
Tree Boutique on the Court Square.
At WPKYonline.com.
1580 103.3 WPKY Tess and Ty at WPKY Princeton. Good morning. It's a Monday morning, and of course, plenty of rain to be had, correct?
That's what it looks like. It looks like it's settled in now.
Hypnosis to stop smoking now.
Here is a to call Caldwell County.
Been talking about for quite some time, and Shane Bogel is with me, and